Hey folks, it's your main man E here from Follow the Leader Canine. And I wanted to talk about something that I don't hear people talking about enough, but it's something that we see over and over again, and something I've really had to be clear with clients about time and time again because it's something that's counterintuitive to us. And this is really the actual danger of babying and coddling a dog. Okay. So, first, let me explain what I'm talking about. Okay. And take a little step back for you so you understand where I'm coming from. When we have a child, a human child, right? And the child is a baby, let's define what a baby is. A baby can't crawl, can't walk. A baby has to nurse from mama. They can't eat food on their own. They can't feed themselves. They need to wear diapers. We would never expect a baby to like go over to the toilet and go to the bathroom. Okay. We would never expect a baby to be running around and, going on long walks until they're like several years old at the least. Okay. But this is where there is some confusion with the dogs, right? Because we see a dog like this one here, this Chow Chow, and he's just a little guy. I mean, he's 3 months old, and we think, wow, he is like a baby. He's fluffy, he's cute, but you can already see a little bit of fear here. I've met him several times, and when I come here to do something as simple as just pet him, he moves away from me. Okay. And we have to understand that a dog's baby time is like a week. Dogs can walk very soon. They can find food on their own, and we expect dogs to be potty trained, around 2 months old, 3 months old. We expect the dog, hey, go outside if you got a potty, hold it if you don't have to potty. Okay. They can run around. They can even defend themselves. I mean, they have teeth. Good boy. So whenever we are working with dogs and we're seeing people coddling the dog, treating the dog like a baby, when the dog is beyond that 2, 3 week old period of time, we want to kind of ask ourselves, hey, is this the type of breed that has a high potential for serious behavioral issues? Okay, if it was a husky, I would say, yeah, huskies are known, they can run away from you. If it was a beagle, I'd say, yeah, beagle, because they're going to end up barking all the time. If it's a German Shepherd, it may end up chasing the mailman. If it's some sort of Spitz breed, an Akita, a Chow Chow, it may end up having issues of aggression relating to people or relating to dogs. When we have a breed where we know, there's a high risk if things go wrong with that dog, they can have problems. We want to be very careful not to baby and coddle that dog because what ends up happening is the dog is very confused. We have to realize a mother dog is never going to carry around a baby dog. Okay. A mother dog is not going to come over to him and say, oh, little baby, oh my God, I love you so much. A mom dog's not going to do that. A mother dog, when the babies are like 6 weeks old, she's going to start setting boundaries. She's going to start telling them, like this, Doc, go on. No, go on, go, go. She's going to start teaching boundaries. We have to realize dogs, they don't even pet each other. So when we excessively pet a dog and we goo goo gaga and we kind of cradle them around like a baby, we don't realize that this can be extremely detrimental to the dog's development. And in many cases, this can 100% be the first step in creating a dog that is fearful, insecure, and that fear and insecurity eventually can translate to the dog becoming aggressive. Okay. We want to be parenting the dog. Let's think about what parenting is. Parenting is like teaching a kid to read and write, say please and thank you, look both ways before you cross your street, go to the bathroom and the toilet. Don't, go get into things in the house that you're not supposed to get into. Um, we play with a child, we take them to the playground, we teach them sports. And so parenting is, it's a lot of work. But that is ultimately what dogs need past the point of a couple weeks old. They need parenting. That doesn't mean we don't still love on our child. We don't still give them hugs. We don't still have those silly moments with them. Of course we do. Me and my parents, we still share affection, and I'm an adult. Okay. But we want to be clear that what's going on here is a confusion, which is understandable because we as humans, we expect something for 1, 2, 3 years old is kind of a baby. It's kind of helpless. We pick it up, we talk to it. It's no big deal. No one's going to expect a 1 year child to say please and thank you. And so, understandably, we kind of project onto a dog, oh, it's like a baby. But we don't realize that for dogs, they see things completely differently. And what they see from us is, oh, somebody is not setting clear boundaries with me. Somebody is picking me up and petting me and sharing affection with me sometimes when I'm scared, sometimes when I'm overwhelmed. Someone is not able to separate themselves emotionally from me and what my needs are and understand, just like if I had a kid, I want to give him ice cream all the time, and the kid's going to gladly take ice cream. I got to realize, as much as I want to feel those good feelings of give the kid ice cream, I can't give the kid ice cream that much because the kid's going to get overweight. Good. So when we have a situation where we have multi dogs, we have multiple things going on in the house, we have multiple people in the household, we have a dog that is a breed that is predisposed to be dominant, to be dominant, to try to climb the social hierarchy. I mean, there's dogs here that I'm laying with here. They're not dominant dogs. They're not trying to control the household. They're not trying to see who's in charge, who's the boss. But other breeds, in particular the Spitz breeds, the more primitive breeds, they are very apt to immediately start to decide who is in control. And if nobody's in control, I'm going to take control. But that's very scary for a dog because they don't understand the world. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand it's just a mailman. They don't understand it's just you picking me up. And so when we share affection with them and when we pick them up and stuff, we want to be really strategic and we want to really ask ourselves that hard question. Is this for them or is this for me? Is this going to help their long-term development, or is this potentially, not leading to them behaving in the way that I would expect them to behave? What I say to people is, if it works, it works. If you're coddling and cradling that dog and that dog is not showing any anxiety, any aggression, you call it, comes over to you, you tell it no, it stops, you offer it food, it takes food. Well, who cares? Keep coddling the dog, whatever. But when you're seeing the dog apprehensive about taking treats, you're seeing the dog scared. When you go to get them, they run away from you. You go to pick them up, sometimes they pee. You tell them no, you tell them to stop, they don't stop. What the dog is basically saying is, I need a parent. I can't be your best friend yet. And if you parent me for the next 1 to 2 years, I will be an amazing dog. I'll be very confident. I'll listen. I'll come when you called. I'll stop doing stuff when you say stop. But if during the first 6 months of my life, or the first month, or the first few weeks that you have me, that stuff's not made very clear, I'm going to start getting confused. I'm going to start wondering what is going on here? And so this isn't a video for anybody to blame themselves or for anybody to come down on themselves in a hard way. But this is just a video to help create that conversation within the household of, hey, are we parenting the dogs or are we babying the dogs? And, if somebody wants to go and get a dog Gus's size, they want to treat Gus like a baby. They want to get a little 10-pound dog, treat it like a baby, carry it around. Who cares? What's the worst thing the dog does? It barks, you just pick it up. But when we have, even this guy, this poodle who's really nice, even when we have Charlie, and we don't set those boundaries, even Henry, come on, Henry, come. Good boy, Henry, go to your bed. Down. No, down. When we can't, we can't expect this guy to listen or that guy to listen, and they're so big, you can't pick them up to stop them. They could scare people. They could chase the mailman. They could get somebody's cat. They could jump on people. And so, it's just about having that conversation within the household of, hey, are we parenting? Are we teaching? Are we setting boundaries? Are we demanding respect? In exchange, we give the animal the things that they want, or are we babying the dog? And that means we're excessively doting on them and petting on them without regard to their behavior, without regard to whether or not they're confident or they're nervous, without regard to whether or not we're struggling or they're still peeing or pooing in the house. Okay. when we're parenting, we're teaching them things. We're spending a lot of time, teaching them to read, teaching them to write, practicing those exercises, walking on the leash, playing with them in a structured manner, feeding them by hand, you know, teaching them a lot, But when we're babying, we don't spend our relationship with the animal teaching them stuff. It's just a baby. Okay. We just give them things for nothing. We don't make them earn things. We just go, here, have everything. It's free. So this guy, he is doing good here, without his brother. But I want to be really clear because I think this is an important note to make. If I pet the dogs more than I set boundaries, if I pet the dogs more than I lead, if I pet the dogs more than I train, if I pet the dogs more than I say no and they listen, if I pet them in a way that's not really communicating to them, hey, thank you, good job, you earned this affection, very quickly, every dog that we've ever had come in here for the entirety of running this business is going to come unglued, is going to start showing behavioral problems, is going to start doing God only knows what, whether it's jumping on us, chasing squirrels excessively. And so, just be mindful. You don't have to be hard on yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up, but you just have to ask that hard, sometimes hard, difficult question. Am I parenting the dog? Am I babying the dog? Is this about me and my needs to touch this thing and feel these certain feelings? Which is understandable. We're humans. We want to have a child and treat them like that. Or, do I really need to parent the dog? Is this really what they need? And with some breeds, like I said, larger breeds, powerful breeds, breeds with certain behavioral proclivities that you read about before you get the breed, this is 100 times the case. So this guy's doing good, but the hard reality is if we could get paid and we could train dogs petting them, and if petting dogs made dogs great dogs and just coddling them and treating them like babies, folks, I wouldn't have a job. And not only that, if that's how I was with these animals, they would never be like this. It's not to say I don't pet the dogs. That's not to say I don't give them love and I don't give them an affection and I don't carry them around and talk baby talk to them and sweet nothings. I was just snuggling my dog last night, kissing her on the head, smushing her head, telling her how special she was, the belly rubs, everything. But just like giving ice cream to a child, it's up to the parent to decide when is it the appropriate time to have ice cream. I mean, just look at the dogs around him. Which dog is petting him? Which dog's picking him up? None of them. They either going to play with him, they're going to set boundaries, or they're going to lead him and have him follow them around. Or they're going to lead by example, being calm dogs. Okay. So here we go, folks. The boys are doing good, but this is one of those harder conversations to have. And I hope it doesn't hit anybody the wrong way. I hope it's not like, oh my God, this guy, Eric, is just such a jerk. He doesn't want us loving on our dogs. But I hope we can understand, hey, look, they're chow chows. There's two of them. They're already showing signs of fear at a very young age around people. And if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we got. But if we could shift, be more of a parent to the dog, they're going to do amazing. And I'm happy to provide books. I'm happy to provide handouts on how exactly we do that. And I'm happy to make videos like this, you know, demonstrating and talking about this stuff. So I hope you guys don't want to shoot the messenger now. But I had to be honest for you guys and for the puppies that this is one thing that we got to really bring to our awareness. Okay, folks, I love you dearly. You can see this guy's doing amazing. He's coming out of his shell. He's smelling. He's still not taking food, which means we really need to be very strategic about how much we're feeding these guys. Um, but yeah, I mean, baby steps, but parenting. We take baby steps, but we parent the dog. Okay, folks, I love you all. Take care.